Growing up, I used to watch a lot of TV, whether it was anime, cartoons, movies, I watched them all, man. But you know what I really liked watching? Sequels. When I saw sequels being announced for many various movie or TV show franchises, I always enjoyed or had a sense of intrigue that kind of piqued my interest into checking this specific sequel out. Because my mentality was like, sequels were basically like taking one TV show or movie and just making it better. Or worse, depending on how many people in the production team have an IQ of -5. Some of my favorite sequels growing up were Back to the Future, the second and third one. I'm not an 80s kid, but 11-year-old Daiki watching those movies was thinking, this is freaking sick. I mean, who doesn't like Back to the Future? Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. It's probably a federal crime that they didn't play this song in the second Space Jam movie. Despite what people may say, I didn't think Space Jam 2 was actually that bad of a movie, but at the same time, I thought it was kinda meaningless. Like, as I was watching every minute of the film, I was just thinking to myself, do kids even watch Looney Tunes anymore? No, seriously. I remember walking up to a kid once and asking him who this character was, and he was all like, hey, that's Bugs Bunny. And then I was like, oh, nice, do you know where he's from? The brat said Max and Ruby, but I digress. Hey, you wanna know some bad sequels? Tarzan 2, Mulan 2, basically any famous Disney movie you can think of in your brain, and then adding a freaking number next to it. Oh, sorry, for a quick second there, I almost forgot that was actually an anime channel. Now, speaking of sequels, so about Boruto. Wait, nah. Before I continue, let me set off the warning sirens first. Opinion alert, opinion alert, opinion alert. Everyone remain calm. It is just an opinion. I repeat, everyone remain calm. Now, Boruto is another example of a sequel in which was based off of one of the most popular anime franchises of all time, Naruto. I won't necessarily say whether this sequel was good or bad or not, because I don't want to get freaking crucified by any Boruto stans out there, but I wouldn't call myself the biggest fan. In fact, I'm actually pretty neutral about the show, not gonna lie. There are a few aspects and themes I honestly do enjoy that comes out of the show, as well as a few aspects and themes that I honestly do not enjoy to come out of the show. But unfortunately, giving a review on Boruto isn't actually the point of this video. I think I already made a video giving all my thoughts on what I think about Boruto anyway, so you can watch that at some other time. But I want to take a quick rewind all the way back to the year 2017. This is the same year Boruto came out. Now, coincidentally, this was also the time where Boruto's biggest op was basically everyone in the freaking anime community. I don't remember much hate coming from the Boruto movie that came out a couple years prior. I remember a lot of people actually loving and enjoying that movie a lot, actually. In fact, the movie isn't even the main issue here. It's when the anime came out and when we started witnessing the real issues. The amount of hate that was literally radiating from this anime was so toxic, so dangerous, that I think it's safe to say that it literally became the joke of the anime community, which is actually quite ironic because anime fans are already a joke to begin with anyways. But I want to come here to be very straightforward and honest. Boruto always wasn't the laughingstock of the anime community. That previous title used to go to a different series, which I'm pretty sure you probably haven't heard of before. It's a pretty underground series if I'm being honest. aka Sword Art Online. I remember when Boruto received so much hate from basically every corner of the anime community, whether it was from YouTube videos trashing it, or just endless memes constantly slandering it to unprecedented levels, that it basically snatched the crown from SAO and just started dashing away, never to come back. It was so bad that on myanimelist.com, basically a website where you can give ratings on your favorite anime and manga, Boruto has under a 6 on that site, and it still hasn't recovered till this day. I'm pretty sure that liking Boruto from around 2017 to 2018 was at least an international war crime that was sentencing you to serve at least 30 years in prison. Like, for real, to prove how honestly terrible it was, a nigga would be chilling and enjoying their day, probably catching up to the newest episode of Boruto, until a group of dudes, nah, scratch that, mob bosses would continuously beat the crap out of that guy, barely giving him a second to even catch his breath at all. And to be fair, it didn't really help things at all, since Boruto was a sequel to such a huge franchise that it had such expectations to carry on its back because of how popular and loved Naruto was back in the day. People were obviously dissatisfied and angry when it felt as if the story was basically going nowhere due to all the filler episodes that people had to constantly sit through. Sir, actually, it is not called filler, it is called anime canon. No, I refuse to call it anime canon for anybody in the comments who are complaining about that. In my opinion, that just makes no sense to me. It sounds like a sorry ass excuse to just call it filler. It also really didn't help things on how every single semi-hype moment that would occur in the show, like every 30 episodes or so, Boruto fans would absolutely go apeshit saying, oh my god, what? Boruto is actually good now, this is crazy, I can't believe it. Leading you to believe that, maybe Boruto might be actually good now. Recently I've been thinking of picking it up again, and honestly I just really want to see it again and see how it goes. Though, on the topic of Boruto fans have been harassed and ridiculed for so long that now at this point they're basically forced to go into hiding. They receive so much hate that it's almost like they form kind of like a cult-like fandom on some Midsummer type shit, in a deep, dark, absolutely scary hellhole in which the most absolutely terrifying, the most gruesome, in which some of the most disgusting, horrifying creatures dwell into. If some of y'all are a little confused right now, I'm talking about Twitter.com. Now, before I go on, you know, with Twitter, when it comes to toxic communities, it's almost similar to something like Dante's Inferno, but instead of there being 8 gates of hell, there's actually 789. Now, regarding Boruto fans, you know, I'm not speaking for everyone in that community, but some of y'all take it a little to the extreme at some points. Some Boruto fans would basically like have this mentality in their minds that Boruto's like the best MC, like best main character compared to everyone else in Shonen right now. Like nobody can compare. And you know, I'm not denying that statement. You know, people can argue if that's true or not. It's pretty debatable, not gonna lie. Though I wouldn't say it's necessarily true because people like Yuji Itadori exist, but anyway, it's essentially how these fans basically rope them into their show, repeatedly saying how Boruto is the best new gen. Boruto is the best new gen. Over and over and over again until your brain comes in contact with believing it. In fact, I think I need to watch out myself because I don't want to fall into their trap also. Boruto is the best. Wait, y'all hear that? Best new gen. Boruto is the best. Is it just me or am I getting kinda sleepy right now? Boruto is the best new gen. Boruto is the best new gen. Boruto is the best new gen. Boruto is the best new gen.